Salam guys! Welcome to Twice Inspired with Habiba
and Shukri.
So we really hope this podcast will inspire you.
We're just two best friends who love to have deep, meaningful conversations.
And even though the things we're going to talk about are nothing new,
sometimes it's helpful to hear it twice so you can be twice inspired.
Salam guys! Welcome.
Walaikum salam.
Welcome to episode 13, where we have two special guests with us. Unfortunately, Shukri is not with me on this episode, which I'm really sad about. So I have two special guests, Rahman Rahana from Moving with Modesty. That's their Instagram page. So yeah, I know Rahana because she used to live on my road, literally a few doors down. Obviously, since she got married, she's moved. But yeah, and we went to the same secondary school and we would catch the same bus to school. So that's how we know each other. We come from like the same friendship group from secondary school. So yeah, we've known each other for a long time, alhamdulillah. And you guys know each other from uni, right?
Yeah.
That's how you guys are friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, lovely. So do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Rahma can go first.
Okay, I'm Rahma. I'm part of the Moving with Modesty. I'm Nuhi's mom. I'm 25 and I share that account with Rayhana.
Salam guys, I'm Rayhana. I'm also 25. I'm Layla's mum.
Oh, I'm Somali descent and Rayhana's a Moroccan one because everybody always gets confused. They think we're half Somali, half Moroccan.
Yeah, and then where are your husbands from? So what mix are your babies?
So mine is Patan. Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
My husband's Patan, so Layla is half Pashtun and half Moroccan.
Oh, yeah, Rahma.
Pakistani, yeah?
Sorry?
Pakistani, yeah?
Oh, Pakistani and Afghan origin, isn't it?
Yeah, because I'd be like, what's Pashto? Until recently.
Sorry. So it's the border of Pakistan and Afghanistan.
No, and my husband's Iranian and Bahraini, so he's half black and then Middle Eastern.
Oh wow! For some reason, I thought he was like he was fully African because I thought, yeah.
Oh yeah, he does. He looks like my nephew actually, and I'm glad you said that. I love when people say that.
Oh, okay. So like, why did you guys start up your page, and what exactly is your Instagram page, Moving with Modesty? I love the name, by the way. It used to be called something else, right?
We used to be called Hurriya, and it means freedom in Arabic, but everyone kept getting it confused to like Hur al-Ain and thinking that we were trying to name our Instagram after Hur al-Ain when it was just simply Hurriya, which means freedom.
God. Yeah.
But we started it was it the second year of uni, Rahma?
Yeah, I think second year of uni, the end of second year of uni.
Yeah, I was still really like rusty with like the way I dressed. And
no, you were actually quite consistent then, Rayhana.
No, not really. I was still wearing like abaya and hijab and like really slim abayas, if I'll be honest. Like,
oh really? I don't remember.
They weren't baggy or anything. So I was just on and off with jilbab and trying to dress a little bit more modestly, and I wasn't feeling great about it. So I was trying to encourage myself by having a platform where we could post pictures, inspire other people as well as inspire ourselves. And that's how it started, really. And I wasn't going to do it by myself, so I begged Rahma to do it with me, and she joined.
Oh, you know what? Because back then there was hardly anybody. There's so many now, but back then it was just like the other.
There was like 4.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, there wasn't that much.
Yeah, mashallah. Because I remember when it started off, and I was like, "Oh, this is different. Like, you're not showing your face, and it's like all about modest kind of clothing." And I thought it was really lovely and like inspirational. So yeah, like, why don't you guys show your face? I guess that's just part of the modesty aspect, right?
I guess so. And also we just kind of like to keep things a little bit private. So we wanted this page to kind of encourage people to dress modestly as well as ourselves, but also for it to be like our little outlet. So it started off with like things that we do, travel, and now it's a bit of motherhood too.
Yeah. In the beginning, we wanted it to be anonymous. Do you remember, Rihanna?
Yeah.
Which is why the main part we didn't or have our names up there. But then I think the last year and a bit, it's just been a bit more, as we've made more people, we've met more people on the platform. We're not as anonymous as we were before. We were trying to keep it on the low, like not have anyone we know personally know our account, just so we could be a bit more comfortable on. But I feel like since we actually have family on there and friends, we've been a bit more open. Don't you think, Rihanna?
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah, I
before, we
agree.
weren't even that active when we weren't known.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because I remember. Yeah, sorry,
Go
go
on.
on.
No, you go.
No, I was just going to say, I remember when I told Shukri that I wanted to have you guys as guests, and she was like, wait, Rahana has a page? And I was like, yeah, I didn't even know. She's like, she didn't tell me. I was like, I don't even know how I found out. Like, I just started following it ages
No,
ago.
you guys all knew, the whole group, like you lot all knew about the page.
Yeah, because you would mention it sometimes, like, oh,
Yeah,
guys, you
yeah.
take pictures for me for this
Yeah,
page.
you guys would take pictures for me as well.
Yeah, but I think Shukri just never clocked. So yeah, we asked you guys, or well, you guys suggested you would ask your followers questions and topics that they wanted us to talk about. So one question was advice to young or even just sisters in general who struggle with the hijab. So what would you guys say to girls who struggle with the hijab? And another question which you can answer together maybe, do you think society affects modesty nowadays? What can we do to overcome this?
I think it definitely does. But I feel like now it's not as hard as it was before, because you see so many people on social media that are wearing, it's what you follow, that are wearing the correct hijab online. I think I even made a post about it. And I don't think it gets easier wearing hijab. I think you're constantly tested with struggling with it. Like just recently I was telling Johanna how I'm struggling with hijab and feeling confident in it. But you just have to renew your iman, renew your intentions, and just surround yourself with people that also dress like you, look like you.
Yeah.
And I think you have to also make an effort at home to look nice,
100%.
or when you
Yeah.
meet sisters, because I think sometimes when you start covering up, you kind of lose yourself.
Yeah. You need to still feel like, feminine in that kind of way. Like I
I
remember when I
definitely
used to
agree.
wear niqab, I would like dress up at home and everybody would be like, Habiba, why are you buying all these clothes? I'll be like, to wear at home. And they just
That's
look
so
a bit
cool.
weird. But I was
That's
like,
really good.
I still like to dress like, nice in that kind of way. Not that abaya isn't nice, because I think that's so beautiful as well. And I feel beautiful in a different kind of way when I wear abaya as well.
Modest clothes in general is a very beautiful thing. When I see people outside wearing the niqab, wearing jilbab, abaya, hijab, whatever it is, it can even be just like loose clothing and their hair still out. Any kind of modest clothing is very, very beautiful and appealing to the eye. But when you're wearing it yourself, you are tested. You do feel, oh, I don't look great. Oh, I look frumpy. Oh, I'm not as pretty as the girls outside. But again, like you both said, it's about how you guys feel and what you're doing to make yourselves feel better. So like self-care, sometimes it could literally just be like getting your nails done in like a really natural type way, or going and getting a facial, or I don't know, going and
Dressing
getting laser done, or just like self-care that no one can see, makes you feel a little bit pampered and a bit better inside. You'll feel a bit more confident. No one needs to see what you're doing, but it'll have an effect on your confidence. But can you go back to the first question about the 16-year-old, please?
The 16-year-old.
Yeah, the young hijabi struggling.
Advice to young or even just sisters in general who struggle with the hijab.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, because the hijab is many things. It's not just the covering of the hair. So if you're feeling like your character is being affected by people, or the way you're dressed is being affected by people, like Rahma said, you need to surround yourselves with people that are doing better than you and covering better than you are, for you to feel comfortable and aspire to dress like them.
Yeah.
Because when I was in uni, I think I was one of the few people in jilbab, and it was hard. Like I felt like, and I'd always wear black. Then I saw Rihanna with her like denim jacket, her little backpack, and colored jilbab. I thought, wow, she actually looks really good.
Yeah.
So I started experimenting with colors, only through Rihanna, like that I got confident,
She would come in with brown. She would come in with brown and be like, do I stand out? I feel really odd. Do I stand out brown? It's bright. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And there's me in like pink.
Yeah, I'm trying to venture out with my abaya colors as well. Now that it's summer, I'm just like, I feel like I need to wear like summery colors to feel more summery and continue wearing abaya. And as well, you inspired me as well, Rahana, to wear all these different colors. Do you remember I was like asking you about the jilbabs and their colors and stuff? Because I was like,
because I look like a rainbow when I go out.
I love it. I love it.
Thanks. That's what you need. You need to kind of find something that you like or you enjoy and kind of experiment, because no one is 100% confident in what they wear. Yeah. Even the girls that look really, really nice outside, they're not confident either. You need to remind yourself.
And have a friend as well, even if it's just one friend that dresses like you or dresses a bit more modest than you, just to have that friend to look up to or like go through the struggle with, you know? So, you know,
because I don't think that I would have made a change in my dress sense had I not seen people that I thought, oh wow, they look really good. Like for example, Shadia, she was my inspiration during college, and then Rahma was my inspiration during uni. And then just seeing girls online, it was nice to see platforms that were different and modest, because there weren't many, like I said. It was really nice to see. So now that there's quite a lot, I would say for these young girls to follow them and to kind of like look at them for inspiration.
And to dress up at home, because it's only what I've noticed when I don't dress up at home, make an effort, do my hair, that's when I feel like down, you know, like, oh, I'm not, you know. But then when I do the opposite and I get dressed at home, or even when I'm meeting up with friends and I go to the house, take off my hijab, you feel good, you know.
Yeah, you can wear like nice clothes underneath your abaya or jilbab as well. Yeah, and just getting changed out of your pajamas. Like my auntie, for example, she's like known for just wearing pajamas underneath her abaya, but I feel weird when I do that. I did that the other day, and I just felt so conscious. Like
I do that all the time.
My pajamas were like coming out at the bottom because my abaya wasn't long enough. I was just like, oh my god.
I do that all the time. I'm not gonna lie. When you
Yeah,
just your mum.
no, yeah, you're a mum,
Dash
obviously.
jilbab on top.
Yeah.
You know, recently, all I wear as well is leggings and a top under, because you want to be comfortable, you're running with kids. But I thought, why don't I just get cute gym wear to wear under?
Yeah, or like loungewear.
Yeah, like loungewear as well.
Yeah, you can get really nice loungewear these days. Okay, so maybe we can go on to like motherhood and all of that stuff. So I actually wanted to ask you, and someone also, one of your followers asked you as well, what are the things you love about motherhood and struggled with, or struggle with?
Do you want to go first, Anna?
Motherhood in general is a very like beautiful thing. So of course there's a lot of things to love about it. Struggles, there are many. that no one tells you about. There's just so many struggles, subhanAllah, but every stage that you go through, you eventually will overcome it. So I sit there and I think, oh, like Layla doesn't sleep, or she doesn't eat, or she's just having these constant tantrums. There's been no struggle that she hasn't, alhamdulillah, overcome. I mean, we're still working on her attitude, because she's still she's still a little Moroccan. She's still really, really like naughty for a 1-year-old. But inshallah, that will also like, she'll also grow out of that as well. But you just need to have like the right kind of support system around you, the right people giving you advice, and a bit of patience. You're gonna need quite a lot of patience.
Yeah, 100%.
What's the hardest thing you'd say, Rahna, for Layla, that you've experienced with?
I would say her clinginess. Like, she's got such an attachment to me. It's like if I just put her down on the floor, she starts going nuts. She's a big girl now, so like she can't be attached to me constantly. If I'm doing the dishes and she's like holding onto my legs as if I'm gonna run away. So that right now is quite testing, but I'm working on it. Inshallah, she'll start getting used to other people and being around other people. Habiba, you know, when she meets like the group, like all the friends, she starts going nuts. She does that when I go over to my mum's house, when I go to my mother-in-law's house. She just goes insane. She needs to get used to other faces, so that's my current struggle.
Yeah, maybe that's related to like lockdown and stuff. Do you think?
I think so. They say that a lot of lockdown babies have like separation anxiety, and they can't deal with being around new faces or being away from their primary caregiver. So
yeah, because another question, obviously Rahma hasn't answered the previous one, so you'll answer that, but maybe you can just kind of answer both as well. How was it having a lockdown baby? So I guess maybe that is one of the struggles, but maybe you guys
definitely a struggle. Having a lockdown baby was hard, because you didn't have the same experience. You didn't have people come to you in hospital. I couldn't even have my husband stay. Like after a couple of hours after labor, he had to leave. So when you're in pain and you're recovering, it's crazy. And then when you come home, no one really comes to visit because it's lockdown. There's nothing to do because it's lockdown. There's no classes, or I mean, even my breastfeeding class was like cancelled because of lockdown. There was nothing available for us. So yeah.
What about you, Rahma?
The hardest part about lockdown, obviously, was when I gave birth and I couldn't have a birth partner, or even my husband had to leave. But also, I think the hardest part after that is the classes. You don't get to do that with your first baby. You know, everybody goes to classes with their first kid. But when I got home, I still had visitors, not gonna lie.
You still had what, sorry?
I still had visitors. My whole family would come to
Okay.
visit.
Oh yeah, of
So I
course.
think my son, when it comes to the social aspect, he's fine because he always sees his cousins and he always saw them from like a young age.
Okay.
I don't know how. I don't think I would have got through lockdown if I was completely on my own. You know, so that must be really hard. But I think the hardest bit was the classes being cancelled, especially
Yeah,
when you
because
see
it was
other mums in.
lonely. It was
Yeah.
lonely. Like you couldn't even like take your daughter out or your son out to interact or socialize.
Even now, when I take him to the park, I'm still like, I'm on my toes thinking, oh, is he going to make new friends today? Or if there's other kids his age, I just watch him see if he's going to interact with them, because obviously he just knows his cousins and they're a few years older than him. But
Yeah,
and then
Layla thinks she's prestige because of lockdown. She doesn't want to go to anyone, doesn't want to speak to anyone.
but
People will stop and start smiling at her and she'll literally cry.
Oh my god,
oh,
that's
poor
so
Lily.
funny.
But she's
maybe
got
that's just her personality as well. Maybe she's just a bit more cautious.
What? She's interesting, that one.
Yeah.
But she's got her little her nephew, her cousin. She's got her little cousin. She don't need no one, and she's got no hate as well. Whenever she sees him.
Yeah, but Rahma, what about you? What about like your struggles and the things you love about motherhood?
So I think with motherhood, the hardest part was when Nuhi was a baby, because he was like Layla. I couldn't do it. He was on me constantly. But since he turned 7 months and started crawling, it's been so much easier, alhamdulillah, in terms of the clinginess. And now he even prefers his dad over me. I complained. I complained to Rayhana. Imagine poor Rayhana has got Layla clinging onto her, like, no, he doesn't love me. He loves his dad. She's thinking you should be grateful.
Yeah, I told her it's amazing. When Layla runs to her dad, I'm like, oh yes, I can get fragments myself.
But what about the things you guys love? Like what's your favorite thing? Maybe like one thing that just makes it worth it all.
Oh, you know when they wake up after a long night and then they see you, it's a cheeky little smile on their face. That's so cute.
Or when you see them do new things that they haven't done before, you know, and you can actually see them growing up. They're not babies anymore. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like every milestone is so exciting. The other day I was in Aldi and she kept standing, but in her trolley. She kept standing in the trolley.
Oh my gosh.
And I was going nuts. And the cashier guy started laughing and said to a customer, he was like, isn't it crazy how a mother just takes 1,000 pictures of their child that they see? I had my phone out just like recording her. Every little moment you do feel like a little cheerleader.
Oh
yeah, I love it. And also I think I was telling Hannah as well, when I got married, I thought I don't want kids straight away. I want to enjoy marriage, have a few years off. But now that Nuhi's been here for a year, it's been like I can't even remember what life was without him.
Yeah, subhanAllah, it does get like that.
Yeah,
I don't think any mum could imagine their life without a kid.
Like, I can't. Like, what did I do with the year before last year? Like,
you're working.
Yeah, one of the questions was actually how was the jump from being a student at uni to being a mother? So did it just feel natural? Does it feel natural now?
It wasn't really a jump though, because we graduated and then we both went on to teach for a year. And then I actually quit the second I found out I was pregnant, and I had a whole year off. Rahma continued working, and then we had like a good 2-year gap.
Yeah, so
yeah, we did.
It wasn't really like a instant thing.
But it's definitely easier to work than be a stay-at-home mum with the kids.
What do you mean?
Like, I think you know, the jump from even just working to having a kid, even that's huge, you know, because like just the other day I was thinking, I don't remember cleaning my house this much or being this tired when I was working, or, you know, because motherhood is a 24/7 job. It's really...
Oh, you're trying to say that working is easier than being a mum?
Yeah, I'm trying to say, that jump from even when we were working to motherhood, it was still huge, you know?
Oh, yeah,
because
right.
you go from not having no time. Yeah,
you're right. Even though working as a teacher was so time consuming and we had no lives, we have no lives right now, like way more. I don't even know how to word it.
Yeah,
basically you have no time then. Now you have like not even a second to yourself.
Yeah,
I've always said, like, once you're a mother, like, that's it, you're a mother. Like, your life is officially not over, but it's a change. Like,
it's not over, but you do like wish your
like,
freedom away. Like, you say goodbye to your freedom.
And it doesn't stop, because even when you have one, you're thinking, okay, you're always going to be a mum, you know. I don't know, for some reason I had this idea where, okay, I'm gonna have my son Nuhi, and then it'll get easier in a year or in a two, because then he'll be older, he'll be more independent. But no, because you can get pregnant whenever. You've got that guilt of, I already have that guilt of he needs a sibling. Can you believe it, Ayana?
No, I can't. On your one.
You know, you've got that guilt, and then you think, oh wow, so I'm always gonna be a mum, because even if I take a break, 4-year break, I'm gonna have another kid, and I'm gonna have another kid, and then maybe until they're like, well, after uni and they get married, then you get a break.
Yeah, you don't. Even then, you don't get a break because you're
It
going to be
just
worrying about them.
it's ongoing, and I don't
It's
think that everyone's like,
it's a responsibility that you literally have. The
Ever.
second you give birth to your
Yeah.
baby, that's it. Your life is never going to
yeah,
be the
that's
same.
it.
Yeah, it's a
I don't know.
lifelong.
I don't know why I had this
Responsibility.
idea where if you've got one kid, you're chilling in class, you know. It's not, they get older, life will get easier, but
Yeah, but with
it's not.
routine, it can be like manageable and enjoyable at the same time.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I guess there'll just be different challenges, but I'm sure it'll get easier, inshallah.
Inshallah.
What advice would you guys give to like first time moms? So if one of your friends were like pregnant right now or something, like what would be the advice you'd give to them?
What advice would I give to my friends?
Like just first time mum advice.
I would say live near family, because when I was pregnant, I wasn't near my family. I lived all the way in like an hour away.
Mm.
So I'd say try to live near family. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It does
Else?
make a difference. That's only if you like rely on your family to babysit and so on. But
No, while you're pregnant though, imagine, because you don't know like if you're gonna have a high risk pregnancy, if you're gonna be tired, if you don't have energy to cook, you don't want to be living on
that's true.
Uber
Family do help you
Eats,
out with food
yeah,
and stuff like
with
that. Yeah,
food, you know,
100%.
yeah,
I would say to take it easy. If you're still pregnant, sleep as much as you can, enjoy your freedom, go on as many date nights as you possibly can. And then when you do give birth, try and establish a routine as early as you can. Like everyone looks at routine in a really negative way once you've had a baby. They're like, oh, you're going to sleep train your baby. It's only like 4 months old, or she's only 6 months old. I put Layla in her own room at 7 months old, and not everyone was pleased with it. But you need to establish a routine that works for you and your household. That would be my advice.
yeah, and set your standards low. Set your standards low. Don't go in with high aims for yourself. You know, set your standards low. Don't think you won't give your baby some TV time, or that you're going to breastfeed exclusively for 2 years.
It's true, because you get really bad mum guilt.
Yeah, don't.
Because you vision how you're going to be as a mother, and then if you don't reach that or you aren't that person, you obviously probably feel like you're not good enough or something.
Yeah, because can you imagine, you see these people on the streets. I've seen people like in restaurants giving their child screen time, and I'm like, I'm never gonna do that. I've done it now. you get there, you get to that stage and you realize how difficult it is when you see a mum losing her patience in the park, and you're like, oh, she's not very nice, but you don't realize what her day's been like before she even got to the park. Like it's more than what you just see. Like you need to be easy on yourself, because there are going to be moments where you do just want to put the TV on and just sit down for 5 minutes, or where you do kind of like have a breakdown, and that's okay. Be easy on yourself.
Yeah, it's true. You need it, as long as just do anything you can to get through, and just for you to, because as long as you're if you're stressed out and overwhelmed, your kid not having screen time, what's that going to do for your kid? If you're tired and overwhelmed, how can you even interact with them, engage with them? Just give them
Because
that.
a happy mum makes all the difference.
Yeah. I think it's so important as well to put yourself first sometimes.
First, yeah, you do
By
really
doing that,
need to.
you're putting your kid first ultimately, because you need to be looked after in order to look after your kids, kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%.
That's true. Like even with the sleep training, Hannah, so many people were like to me, "Oh, I don't agree with sleep training," and "Oh, I just co-share with the bed." But maybe Allah about it, you can handle that. But other people, like myself, we need sleep, you know, and it has a
I
big
can't
impact.
function without sleep, so I was going crazy.
Yeah, subhanAllah. When Nuhi was sleep trained, those few hours, it changed my life completely.
100%. When
When
Layla was crying all night, I'll be crying with her. I'd actually be crying with her, so I needed sleep.
I was just gonna say the thing you said about like, yeah, never say like, oh, I'd never do that. My mum and my aunties always told me that as well. Like they said they used to say things like, oh, I'd never be like that with my child, or my child's never going to be like that. But lo and behold, like you can't control things. And it's true, like never speak out of or judge people from a situation you haven't been in.
Yeah, and you can't really judge someone because the parent can't control a 1-year-old. You can't tell a 1-year-old, hey, sit down. Do you think they're going to listen?
Yeah, it's true.
They're going to run off. So just be easy on yourself and give parents like benefit of the doubt. Don't always judge.
Yeah. Okay, so another question one of your followers asked was, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
I
You know?
I'd see myself
Allahu A'lam.
working. No, seriously though, I'd see myself working and maybe one more kid. That's it. That's a newborn, ideally.
Oh my gosh.
5
So
years
what you say
time.
was
What about you?
teaching, right?
Obviously, Rihanna will have Hudayfa, or Saleh.
Oh my days. I don't know where I see myself in 5 years time.
Inshallah.
Habiba, why don't you answer this question? Where do you see yourself in 5 years time?
Question weren't for me, babes. It's from your followers.
Go for it. Where do you see yourself in 5 years time?
I don't like these questions because 5 years ago I saw myself somewhere where I'm not. So but I don't know, hopefully, inshallah, if God wills, like hopefully married with maybe like one kid, and
Inshallah.
I would have maybe, you know, had like experience in some sort of career or like the field that I want to work in, which
Inshallah.
yeah. But just happy, you know? No, I'm joking.
No, 100%.
No,
That's what matters most.
100%, yeah.
Like good mental health and like
Yeah,
good
that's true.
health in general, and just all my family and my loved ones around me, and world peace.
Well, I know it's true because
Inshallah, ya Rab.
when we
That's a
think,
good one, yeah.
inshallah, when we think about where we want to see ourselves in 5 years' time, we always think career-wise.
Yes, that's true.
We always
Let
think,
me scrap
I'm
mine
going to
then.
be here and I'm going to be there. No, Rahma, because I also see myself working in 5 years' time, only because I enjoy working and being like my own individual person. By then, Layla will be in nursery, or she'll be in primary school by then.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
primary, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. She'll be in primary school, and I don't know. Probably another child. Who knows? Allahu A'lam. One child is enough at the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So what do you want to redo yours, Rahma? You said scrap.
Yeah.
She wants world peace.
No, it's okay. I should have started off with world peace.
No, but it's true. Like, subhanAllah, the way the world's going is going so downhill.
It's
It has to go up
heartbreaking.
at some point, you know.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
right.
100%. It'll be it's actually heartbreaking what's going on. So
Yeah.
the fact that we can go on and live our lives and have kids and go on with our careers when other people are literally like dying and their houses are being demolished and they're being imprisoned is crazy that we have that luxury of thinking 5 years. We have that luxury of thinking 5 years ahead.
That's true, Savannah. Did you see
With,
that
like,
video?
safety and everything.
Sorry. Did you see that video about this Muslim sister in China asked I don't know the guy's name, about
Sheikh
the state.
Haytham.
Yeah, she asked him. It was. Did you see it, Habiba?
No.
It's so depressing. I don't even know why I brought it up.
It was
Sorry.
really sad. Yeah, Sheikh Haytham was doing question and answers, and the sister called up, and basically her question took quite long for her to actually spit it out. It was so heartbreaking. Her actual question was, we're being forced to sleep with
Marry,
atheist
right?
men
Yeah.
in China, and we just want to know, are we allowed to kill ourselves? It was so heartbreaking. Like, she goes, I know it's haram, but I want to hear a fatwa from you because I need something. I want to cry.
Oh my gosh. And what did he say?
He was just gobsmacked. He didn't know what to say. Ugh. What can you say? My point is, we have the luxury of saying in 5 years' time, inshallah, we want to be here, we want to be there, we want to be there. There's people in the world in 5 years' time, they'll just prefer to be dead.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
So sad.
I know, sometimes I just deep and when I deep it, I feel so at comfort in a way, because it's like this life really isn't that important. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's the afterlife that is our real home.
Yeah.
And it's just so important to remember that, to keep us like on the right path.
Oh, that was sad. I feel sad now.
No, that was deep. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I don't know why I brought that up.
No, it's fine. It's good. Like, because I was gonna.
It's a reminder, like
Yeah.
I said, it's not always to do with careers and where you are, like financially or whatever it is.
Yeah. And I was going to say, obviously, you guys are quite outspoken about, you know, the injustices that are happening in Palestine and stuff. Obviously, it's sad what's happening there and around the world, to be honest. So it's good that you guys use your page to raise awareness on these issues, because it's like the least we can do.
It would be unfair if we didn't. Come on.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Where should we go from there?
I know.
Next question.
Left us thinking. Obviously, we looked into the future 5 years ahead, so let's look into the past kind of thing. What advice would you give yourself at the age of 14 to 16? Interesting age, 14 to 16.
Oh, I loved that age. That was actually I loved that age. I genuinely believe that I had my head screwed on at a young age because I had confidence in myself. Like, not because I was vain or anything, but I was very sure of myself as a person. Like I did,
mashallah, like you stood out as like a very confident person in school. And
yeah, I feel like I was very sure of myself. I would speak if I felt like I needed to speak. I never felt like I had to kind of just sit there and hide away or be quiet. I was just very like happy with the person I am. And the advice that I would give is to be confident in who you are and don't try and please others. Don't ever try and change yourself for others, because at the end, you're the only person that's going to lose. No one's really going to accept you for someone that you're not, you know?
100%. Great advice, honestly.
That's actually a really good one, because I was the complete opposite at 14, 15, 16. I think only when I was about 17 did I start to get a bit more confident. But I remember I used to have really bad anxiety. Just going out used to make me feel so anxious. So that's good advice you gave, Rihanna. And also, if you are like me, if you are like me and you're anxious teenager, push yourself and don't put in your mind that you're anxious, because it's only when I pushed myself and I started going out by myself more did I just get out of it. And subhanAllah, only when I was 21 did I look back and think, oh, that must have been anxiety what I had, because it was so bad that I would walk on the side of the road, not in the middle. Does that make sense?
Oh,
yeah. But then if you're like that, just push yourself and move forward. I'm sorry, was that depressing again?
No, it wasn't.
No, that's sad, because that's the reality of a lot of teenagers. They feel like they're not good enough, or they're not pretty, or they're not like accepted in the crowd that they want to be accepted in. But you will find yourself eventually. And I think teenagers put a lot of pressure on themselves for not being where they want to be. But they just need to accept who they are and enjoy it.
Yeah, and you'll figure everything out, inshallah. And put your trust in Allah.
Yeah, I think with social media now, it's just a different level. Like back in our day, we just had BBM and and like Twitter had just kind of started to go off and stuff. But now it's just Instagram, Snapchat, everything's recorded. You're going to be
and social media is encouraging these young girls to act like adults and to look like adults. When we were young, we were accepted as kids. Like, I mean, Justin Bieber was cool. I know we shouldn't listen to music, but now kids are like 14, 15. The lyrics that they learn and the lyrics that they listen to is just disturbing compared to like when we were 14 and 16.
That's crazy. So how can we even give advice on that? SubhanAllah. It's a complete different generation altogether.
Yeah, social media is a problem, I would say.
Yeah, because someone asked as well, what would be your advice for young Muslim women?
In terms of what?
Just anything, I think.
I mean, I would say find a hobby, find something that you enjoy, because these days everyone's hobby is TikTok. Like find yourself a hobby. When I was 14 to 16, Habiba, you knew what I was doing. Like I was in my room dressing up, like my face was Maleficent one day, and then the next day I was a clown, and the next day I was, I don't know, God knows, a bride. Like I was obsessed with makeup at that stage. Instead of revising for my GCSEs, I was playing with makeup. So if you find yourself a hobby, revise for your GCSEs, kids. Don't do it.
What I loved about you as well, like you never obviously really wore makeup outside, so you were so good at it, but you just kept it kind of.
Yeah, but that's because of the household that I grew up in. We were like, my parents are strict and they didn't want me to wear makeup growing up, and I'm happy that they made that decision, because had they let me, I would have been very, very insecure without any makeup.
That's
Yeah,
true.
100%. There was a point in my life where like I wouldn't be able to leave or show anyone my face, anyone without makeup. Like I remember once I took my makeup off and I was ready for bed and my uncle came around and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't go down to him without some eye makeup. It
I
got
remember
so
how
bad.
obsessed you was with mascara.
Yeah, it really was bad. But alhamdulillah, it didn't last long. And then I was just like, do you know what? I'm just gonna accept myself for how I look without makeup.
That's true. You know what? What helps me with that? Men don't wear makeup. They look fine. Why
Yeah,
do we need?
that's what people say. That's what like
Actually, like,
people have said to me. They're like, girls just shouldn't wear makeup because then people start getting used to how you look with it. So if you just
Yeah,
wear it, you just look the same all the time.
yeah.
it's not really about people though, because the second you start wearing it,
You look different to yourself.
you
Like,
feel awful when you're not wearing it.
mm,
So you're only hindering like your own confidence.
That's true. And I'm too lazy for makeup, to be honest.
but too
It's
what
not
little
even a,
lady.
yeah, I'm too lazy. Just take it
Yeah,
off.
same. Same. That's I think why I stopped wearing it as well. I was like, I can't be asked to take it off anymore.
So going back to the question, I would say for them to have a hobby, surround themselves with people that they actually look up to instead of just, oh, she's cool, I want to be friends with her. Like
Mm,
Yeah,
I have so many nieces. I would never want my nieces to change themselves just to be accepted in a group, because be who you are and you'll attract the right people.
that's true. And don't be too focused on friends because at that age, you're still, friends will probably be coming and going. You're still figuring things out.
yeah.
But obviously, it would be nice. And also, maybe attach yourself to a masjid, like, or youth club, some kind of youth club or something. So you meet people like-minded like yourself or people that also want to improve themselves.
Yeah, it's
That's
probably
cute.
difficult in lockdown though, isn't it? But as things are easing, hopefully
Yeah.
you can do that. I
I
wonder
don't think you'd find many 14-year-olds in the masjid though, but in a youth club, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, youth club, yeah. Really, I started going masjid when I was 15 actually, but I was the youngest. But then I think at 16, that's when there were a lot more people my
That's
age.
probably in like your area though. In South London, you won't really find anything.
Really, South London, there's Brixton.
Yeah, that's like one
Well,
masjid.
I guess no, but even now, it's not the same as before when we were younger. There's not that many lessons. I don't know how the teenagers are doing it, to be honest.
yeah. One question I have for you guys, like how do you guys because I really struggle with this because sometimes I just have this love-hate relationship with social media and Instagram where I like it because you can use it for good and you can spread awareness to things, but then I also just don't really like being on it and I prefer to use my time just to spend with family or doing other things other than being on my phone. So sometimes that's why like we hardly release content on like our Instagram page because I don't know, for me personally, it's just the struggle to always be like posting things. But I know Rahana finds it like fun and it's like a hobby for you, right? So I guess that helps. But
But even I think we have the same issue because even I like when we meet up, we find it so hard to get content to post content right there and then. It's always when we go home and we're in bed.
yeah,
And I think recently we've been pushing ourselves to just do it right there and then because then we just end up not posting it at all, and then because it's just same. Like I prefer to just enjoy the moment, and
Yeah.
but then you've kind of have to balance out. You've got a podcast, you've got an Instagram page. You need to be posting content.
I
yeah,
mean, personally, social media doesn't affect me in that kind of way because I've never actually had my own personal Instagram. It's either been my makeup page
Mm.
or moving with modesty. And moving with modesty for me, everyone knows it's just a hobby. It's not like I have to feel like, oh, I need to post this so that I can show so and so. Or no, it's never like that. And like we mentioned before, we aim for it to be as anonymous as possible. Like our followers don't even know our names. They've asked us what our names are and we don't even answer.
yeah,
They go as Layla and Nuhi. So it's never been like a competition type thing. And that's the problem with social media. People feel like, oh, I need to post or, oh, I need to show my followers what I've been doing. No, you don't.
yeah.
You only need to post if it's something that you want to
But
and
that's the
enjoy
only way you
doing
grow,
so.
though. That's the only way you'll grow.
I've stopped showing my life on even my personal Instagram. Like I literally just use it to like spread awareness. Maybe every now and again I'll post a picture of myself, like hardly ever because I just don't care about using it for that anymore. But even then I still struggle on my podcast page to upload content, even though it's for like a good reason. And I literally just upload the bare minimum, which is like the podcast episodes, because what I initially imagined was for this page to be like reminders and just like interact with the audience and just post like at least weekly. But I don't really do that. But I'm not going to be too hard on myself, because at least as long as I just do the bare minimum and I stick to that and not put too much pressure on myself, then it should be good. I don't know.
That's good. At least what your
Never put
the
pressure on
content,
yourself.
yeah, and at least your content is organic, you know. You just go with the flow, no pressure,
I'm
nothing.
not trying to force it. And
Yeah, to be honest, if I didn't force myself, I would not be posting nothing on stories. You know me, Diana.
yeah, that's what I mean. So how do you
I
like
struggle. I really struggle.
How do you what?
like what is driving you to force yourself to upload if you
I
don't
mean,
really
when
care to?
it's your hobby, you're not really forcing yourself. Like, you enjoy creating content, or you enjoy putting it out there, and sometimes it's just like, it's like a little bit of therapy.
No, but sometimes, okay,
At
just
the end of a long day, you just want to sit down, unwind in bed. For me, at the end of the day, editing a photo and uploading it is unwinding.
Yeah, I get that for you, but then Rahma, do you feel like that's the case for you as well?
no. That's probably why you see Rihanna more on the page and less of me, because I struggle with posting content.
Okay,
You know,
is it usually Rihanna posting?
yeah, it's usually, even if you check our page, it's mostly pictures of Rihanna, because even getting pictures, I'm really shy, a bit embarrassed. Even like when I go with Rihanna, and Rihanna's a natural aesthetic.
Yeah, I get you.
Because I guess she enjoys it, but I enjoy it to an extent, you know? I'm still, I don't know.
Ahmed likes being the cameraman.
Yeah, I like being behind the scenes.
Yeah,
You're making it sound like I put a gun to your head.
No. I'm just saying, in terms of posting content on stories, I struggle with posting things.
Yeah, and
Rihanna
Habiba,
do most of it.
for your podcast page, you don't necessarily have to be very active on your stories and stuff.
Oh,
Your
was Habib
podcast-
asking for our podcast?
No, she was saying, like, for her podcast page, she's not doing the things that she thought she would do. She thought that she would upload frequently on stories and so on. But our page is more like, our page is like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's lifestyle. You have to.
Yeah, it's more of a lifestyle page. It's more of like a motherhood, modest wear. Yours is a podcast. So if you just release your podcast, you're doing more than enough.
Yeah, and because I don't like being on my phone that much, it's like I'd rather just do the bare minimum and leave it at that. One of your followers asked, guys, why don't you show your husbands?
Why do you want to see my man? I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. We're just really private people.
Yeah, you don't even show your own faces. Like,
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't. We
it
barely
makes
show our
sense.
hands, let
don't
alone
know.
our faces, let alone our husbands. Because let's be real, like, people that show their husbands on Instagram, they've just got women all up on their pages for the wrong reasons.
yeah,
Even in the beginning, no, because remember, even in the beginning when we first started and we said we were married, people would always ask us these marriage questions about our husbands, and then when they saw that we're not really a
They will
couple's
always
page,
ask where our husbands are from. Do we share the same husband? Can you
we
imagine?
still get that till now.
Oh
If
my
we're
Yeah,
co-wives.
they keep asking, are we co-wives?
that's crazy.
And ask for tips and advice on how we travel together with the same husband, which is just crazy.
But you don't, do you?
No, we've
What?
never traveled together.
We don't what,
You
Habiba?
don't travel together. Yeah. You don't travel together. I know you're not co-wives. Oh my god.
No, we don't. We've never traveled together.
Yeah, why do they think you do?
I don't know. Can you imagine?
But
We
I
don't
think-
share husbands, but yeah, they're obsessed with them already.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's we want to have our marriage life separate to, you know, our
It's
Instagram.
your own
It's not-
little thing, like not
Yeah,
your husband's kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't understand. Like, I'm just very aware of evil eye and things like that, and people just casually show their love life.
And it's all a lie anyway. People are just stunning.
Yeah. Just stunting.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like people that do show their husbands on Instagram, it's obviously going to be like a really romanticized version of their lives. It's going to be videos and reels of them twirling in nice, like, scenery, nice places. That's not life. I don't ever want to kind of show the wrong kind of content. Like, yeah, we do post travel and we do post the pretty things that we do, but if you start putting up like marriages, people then automatically start comparing, oh, my husband doesn't come to so and so place with me, and my husband doesn't hold my hand and twirl out the bloody sunset.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
gonna
I
start
probably forced him
creating,
to do that. Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna start creating crazy expectations, and then people are gonna start doubting themselves and their own relationships
That's
and
true.
just feeling crap.
But even with our travel, we're honest that we save, or when we had 2 salaries, we say that it was easier for us to save. But with marriage, am I going to post the argument I just had with my husband just to show you, to get it, the 2 sides, the realities? Or even with our kids, we show the struggles of having kids. It's nice to show 2 things and not, just the happy bit.
Yeah, 100%.
And with it, nobody wants to show them arguing with their husband, put their
No,
personal
and I
business
just
out there.
genuinely
Yeah.
believe you need to have privacy when it comes to your relationship for there to be barakah in it. I
Yeah,
don't
even
agree
with,
with like completely showing your whole entire life on social media, because then you start living for social media and not for the moment.
Yeah.
even our children, we don't show our children's faces, and even that's a big thing. At least recently we just started showing the size of their head, their hair, but we don't show their faces either, because that's another thing as well.
Yeah, may Allah protect them.
I mean,
Bless your children and your
I
marriage.
mean,
and
thank
your
you.
lives.
And I think if you want Allah to put barakah in something, you should keep it private.
And not kind of show off.
No, 100%, because everyone's got good and everyone's got bad, and this doesn't just go specifically for your marriage or your husband. It's for
just
everything.
everything, yeah. Everything.
That's why
Well,
we
yeah.
chose to be a bit anonymous, because we have bad and we have obviously good, but we want to protect our good by being as private as we can.
Yeah, it's true, Salma. But even then, like, if you're an account and your husband is a public figure just like you, that's your choice, and obviously you've taken the means, you've done your adhkar. But personally, for us, I'd rather not.
Yeah, it's just our choice.
Yeah.
100%. Like even me and Shukri, we were like in 2 minds about showing our faces for the podcast, right? And I was like, let's just start off not showing our faces, because I don't know if I'm ready to be showing my face to the whole world. And sometimes I'm really happy with that decision, just because I don't feel the need to show my face at all. Some people are like, oh, well, you should video it. And I'm just like, no, but podcasts don't need to be videoed. The whole point is
That's true.
it's just your sound, it's just your voice. And like,
That's true. And sometimes you do think it's always the accounts that show their husbands, show their faces, show their more personal life that grow quicker. But it's not about the numbers. It's about how comfortable you are, and as long as you're enjoying what you're doing.
Exactly.
Can I also mention, sorry, I don't want to sound crazy, but you kind of keep the things private that you want to keep private. For example, we will never show our babies' faces because we want to protect them.
Yeah.
And also we have ghira as women. Like, you're not gonna
exactly
want to show your entire life. Are you not going to feel a type of way if you do post a picture of your husband and a woman comments? You are going to feel a type of way.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'm not even
And
mad,
also,
and I feel a type of way.
Habiba, you're the protective type. You know who I am as well. We're not them kind of people. Rahma would just die. And I would not appreciate it, to say the least.
We'd drive up to people's houses.
What I'm saying is, like, there's ghira on both sides. A husband is going to be jealous of his wife or protective over his wife, and likewise a woman should also be protective over her husband.
I didn't want to say that because I don't want to sound like a feminist, but a husband is not going to put his wife on social media unless she's in niqab. So why am I going to put mine on? I can't put him in a niqab, can I? But most of the time, 10 out of 10, if a husband shows his wife, she's in niqab, covered top to bottom.
It depends on what kind of account and the person as well.
Most of the accounts that are like that,
Yeah, like our account. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
like
those
our
are the
account.
similar accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I'll probably cut this out, but I don't get how Muslim men are okay with just like showing their wives.
Wait, why are you gonna cut this out?
Because I don't
Cut this bit out. I don't understand how sisters are reposting their husband, telling us to follow them. What's that about?
Again, why are we gonna cut that out? This is
telling them
like...
what? Rahma, to people to follow them.
Yeah, follow. But most of your followers are sister. And after the Dajjal, the biggest fitna for men are women.
It's not even that. I don't understand. I agree with both of you guys. I don't understand it, because when your husband, you realize that your husband's got women in his DMs asking, "Oh, brother, are you married? Oh, brother."
Clearly, he's bloody married.
Huh? Yeah, you're gonna feel a type of way. So I don't know why you plant the seed to begin with, because you'll be the one to blame at the end of it.
Exactly. Yeah, don't plant the seed at all.
I'm not even married. I even have someone to marry, but I already don't want my husband to even have an Instagram page.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, so it goes for Instagram and it goes for real life. I've known people in the past where they would be like, oh, I want my husband to be friends with you guys. Like I want to come home and be able to know that you guys can come over and my husband can let you guys in, and then I'll come home from work and you guys are just friends. And I'm like,
Find you
that
guys
doesn't
together in bed
work.
one day.
Oh, that's a
That
bit.
does not work. Like, you cannot be friends with the opposite gender, let alone other people's husbands.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's so many stories I laugh a bit. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about following Islam and what Allah tells us, and it's just so important to follow the rulings of Islam because they're there to protect us ultimately. And talking about husbands and stuff, quick question, which one of your followers asked, which I think would be interesting. How can I know if someone is the right person for me? Tell me, guys, how do I know if someone's the right person?
I mean, you never know, but you do
Yeah.
have like a inclination. Like, I might sound mean saying you never know, but come on, you don't know
That's
that.
true. You never know. It's always a risk. It's always a risk.
Did you
Yeah,
guys
you
not
know.
have the feeling that he's the one?
No, you have an inclination. You obviously pray istikhara. You feel ease towards that person. You feel connection towards that person.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have any kind of like red flags prior to marriage and you feel like, oh, this characteristic is something that scares me, or I don't feel comfortable around him when he's feeling like this, then that's your decision. But if you feel like, oh, okay, I can take his anger, that's fine, or I can do well with how he gets when he's irritated or something like that, and you love everything else about him, then inshallah khair, you know, that
That's
should be
true.
the
Because and it's always a risk. And also, what I would say is, there's always that one thing that you can never compromise on, or one thing that's a deal breaker for you. Always mention that and ask him what his is, because maybe that's something that you can't deal with. You don't want to be finding that out once you're already married.
True. It's so important to have like good, solid conversations
Yeah.
about these things.
Have as many meetings as you need, and istikhara obviously, but I don't think you'll ever feel, maybe I'm a bit of a pessimist, you ever feel 110% sure, even if you're happy. And obviously when I was getting married I was happy and I'm sure, but it's always in the back of your head, anything can happen.
Yeah.
anything can happen. But again,
Yeah.
how do you know he's the one? You will never
You'll
actually
never know,
know
yeah.
he's
Exactly.
100% the one. But do you get along? Yes. Do you find him attractive? That needs to be like ticked
Yeah.
off. Do you feel comfortable around him? And I would say the main thing is, are you friends? You need to be friends.
Yeah, you need to be able to have conversations and
Yeah,
laugh with each other.
you need to be
And
friends and
you
go
know
ahead
what I
with that.
saw? I came across this post ages ago. I don't even know if this is related, but someone said everybody always says they want a practicing brother, that. Whereas this, when people romanticize practicing brothers, it's not easy. Someone was saying it's not easy.
Wait, what
Your
do you
life isn't. You know how there's people post stuff like about practicing brothers and beards and say they want to live that married life to a religious brother. He has to have religion. He has to have religion.
Oh, those
But
kind
a
of
man
memes
with
like,
religion,
I want my husband to wake me up for
yeah,
pleasure.
Fajr, yeah, and he has to have religion. Religion is key. But is your haram ratio the same? Does that make sense?
No, I'm a bit confused.
Halal haram ratio, like you kind of have to be on the same level Islamically. And if he's too high for you, are you going to accept certain things that he won't allow you, that probably maybe your other husband's wives are cool with? Do you get it?
I get it. That's why I say you need to be friends, because ultimately, if you're going to be friends with someone, for example, me and Habiba, we're friends. Me and you, Rahma, we're friends.
Yeah.
We click with so many things. Do I know that you guys have certain traits? Like I have certain traits, yeah, but we
Yeah.
deal with those traits and we still click no matter what. You need to be friends, and I don't think you can be friends with someone that's completely different from you, like completely. If you're saying he's really, really, really practicing and you're really not, and you're not going to stand for some decisions that he's making, you need to be friends and have like a level mind. Look, I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah, no, it makes sense. You need to be on the same kind of page in life
yeah,
and want the
Yeah.
same things from life and the same goals and aspirations.
yeah.
Last question, I promise. Just so like I can answer all your audience's questions. Since both of your kids are mixed, do you teach them both cultures or learn more or lean more to the mother's side? I feel like I know Rahana's answer to this, but
What's my answer?
like because I remember you saying like Layla's just gonna be Moroccan, like she's not really gonna
Yeah,
know.
that's
Wow,
true.
I sound horrible. No,
No.
Layla is good. I definitely think that Layla's very Moroccan already, because I speak to her in Darija
Yeah.
a lot. Her dad doesn't really speak to her in Pashto, but I do want her to embrace both cultures. Like I do want her to have the same kind of balance. So I asked my mother-in-law to speak to her in Pashto. Like on Eid, she wore like a really cute Afghan dress. Like I didn't dress her up as a Moroccan, I dressed her up as in their traditional clothes. There will be a balance, but I think she definitely will lean towards the Moroccan side. Only saying that because I feel like whatever your mum is, you lean way more to that side than anything. Like even you, Habiba, I'm sure you can
100%.
kind of attach yourself more to your Indian culture than to your dad's culture.
Yeah.
What's your mix,
A big
Habiba?
mix.
What's
I'm
your mix?
To keep it short, I'm half Indian, half English. But it's funny because
She's not half English. She's like quarter Polish, quarter this, quarter that.
even though I live in England, like I literally don't feel English at all. Like I'm not. There's nothing really white about me culture-wise.
Other than your skin.
Yeah.
You want to talk, Rihanna?
Whatever. Even Rahma, she literally speaks to Nuhi in Somali.
Yeah, I do. But then I think I'm really trying, but then my mother-in-law is so involved, Allah Barik, and she just speaks to him just in Baluchi, which really encourages me to speak to him in more Somali. But I think Nuhi will have a balance, but I think they always lean towards the mother side.
They will definitely always lean towards the mother side,
Yeah.
but I would always want Layla and my future kids, inshallah, to have a balance of both cultures, because I think it's beautiful. I mean, I would have never married someone outside my culture if I didn't think it was a nice thing.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind if he leaned more towards his African culture, to be honest.
So yeah, Rahma, does Nohi so you think he'd lean more towards the Somali culture as well?
Yeah, it's only because as well he's got more Somali cousins. He doesn't really have that many cousins here from his dad's side, and yeah, I think
Your
he'll
husband's
lean more
mind,
towards.
guys?
Sorry,
Your husband's mind
Mind what?
that like they're leaning more towards the culture.
I don't think so. I don't see why they would. Well, I don't see why
no.
mine
Well,
would.
in the beginning, my husband would always like generally, oh, I have a culture, I have my own culture like this. But then now, subhanAllah, even like certain words when he says to my son, when he says to him kiss, he doesn't understand kiss. He knows ma'isi. Like he won't give him a kiss unless he says ma'isi. So he'll say ma'isi.
Oh, so my husband doesn't mind at all. Like everything that I say that I repeat in Moroccan Arabic, my husband will always use it as well, because he just
my husband started doing that
responds to it.
subconsciously.
Because my husband knows that Layla responds to a lot of words in the Moroccan Arabic dialect, he uses those same words because he knows that she understands them and she's familiar with them.
Yeah, but, my husband does that now. It's just, I think subconsciously he does it. Like he'll find himself saying may instead of no. Even he's picking up words and he never ever tried to learn before.
Now your husband's learning your language.
Yeah. And Layla, she's so funny. She's definitely a Moroccan. Like she just loves to shack out. So in the car, she just wants me to blast. She just wants me to blast nasheed, like proper like wedding nasheed. So my husband knows that calms her down. So he just puts that on for her too. It's so funny.
Can't take the Moroccan out of a Moroccan, I'm telling you. But yeah.
Since you're mixed, Habiba, do you think that because you're mixed, you need to marry within one of your mixes to keep the lineage going?
No, I really don't care. I was going to say this as well. I feel like just being Muslim keeps us together, and that gives us an identity as well.
Yeah.
Right? Probably for your kids as well. It's like the main thing you bring them up upon is Islam, not really like a culture anyway. So it doesn't really matter as Muslim.
Yes, I'm married to a Somali to keep his blood Somali. Imagine.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, we always joke that Layla and Nuhi will get married, inshallah. But then I started to think, if Layla and Nuhi get married, Layla's white. My grandkids are not looking like me.
Wow.
Well,
No, exactly. She's North African. What's wrong with that? A little bit. Come on.
I guess we do need more Moroccan in the family.
Nah, see, to me that doesn't matter. I don't mind if Layla goes on to marry someone outside of the culture or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
It shouldn't matter, because that's what unfortunately like disunited the Muslim Ummah, like this whole nationalism and people being oh, I'm from here, I'm this, I'm that. Like, even
do you remember how proud I was, Habiba, when I was young?
To be
I was like such a proud Moroccan. I said, I'm never married.
like that.
I said I'll never marry Pakistani or I'll never marry Somali. And
Did you?
I literally now. But you know what's fun? I guess that's what's good about mixing, because inshallah, next generation can be so mixed. There won't be that patriarchy just towards one country.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Allah tells us in the Quran as well. Like, we made you from different nations and tribes so that you can recognize it, because we're
Yeah.
meant to be together as one Muslim ummah. Like, it doesn't it shouldn't matter at all where we're from. Like,
Yeah, that's true, subhanAllah. That's true.
that's why the Muslim ummah is so disunited, because everyone's just like, I'm Palestinian, I'm Syrian, I'm this, I'm that. Whereas in the past, we were all just one, like, Muslim ummah. Obviously, they identified with their tribes and stuff, but
Yeah.
it wasn't so much that it was like,
No, I get what you mean. Yeah.
yeah.
well, this has been interesting. We've touched up on so many different topics. It's actually been quite eye-opening.
But yeah, we literally I think we answered most of the questions. So I hope your followers will be happy with that and will listen to this, inshallah, and benefit from it.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair for having us.
No, thank you
Yeah,
so
it was
much
nice.
for coming. Jazakallah khair.
So guys, subscribe to Habiba and Shukri's channel, and don't forget to leave a comment and a like.
Because you don't subscribe on podcast, do you?
I'm joking.
I don't know, I think we can on some platforms.
Oh, okay, that's really good.
And we have a YouTube channel, so you can subscribe there.
No way, I didn't even know that.
Sorry, I have to go listen to it.
It's fine, it's time anyway.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Jazakallah khair, Habiba.
Jazakallah khair.
Assalamu
Thank you so much.
No problem. Bye. What's wrong with?
Motherhood.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Inshallah, see you next
Jazakallah khair.
episode.